So back again. Now back into business again. But yeah. So I think that glottal should just stay. There's no business disappearing. Like if you check this. Oh wait, no, it disappears before E. Never mind, it disappears. Will. Okay. That is amazing. If. Okay. So this with it will become if. It means to stand. Perfect. So imperfect is based on if. Okay. So now if we combine like if and and the problem is gonna have this if probably gonna appear afterwards. So we might actually get basically this one, but with an F afterwards. But with ura, we might get the same result, like uraf, and uraf. Wow. Okay. We might basically have so that the final F is very common, at least in the beginning, in this kind of stuff. So the realis imperfective is really just F's a lot all over the place. And this is also going to be that it's going to be if it's going to be future tense imperfective. Imperfective future tense could be if. Now we're gonna have optative, but this is, you know, a wish, to wish. So we're gonna have based on a verb meaning to wish or to want. So we're gonna see if there's any nice little word that we want that can mean to wish. So just think, does this word feel like something that means to wish? Ui, pinra, ui, kön, epyp, strum, aga. Yeah, let's do aga. Lots of vowels on our verbs so far. That's gonna change afterwards in a while, probably. This probably is gonna be spelled aga, but we know it's pronounced aga. To wish, to want. Yes. This followed by the root is aga. And pronunciation is aga, because G is an allophone of the K. Aga, emu, if. Okay, so aga, to wish. Okay, so this is based around the word aga. Or based around aka. Okay. Now it's probably gonna have the aka up here after these stuff, but this stuff is gonna be aka, aka, eka, 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 yeah, eka. It might become eka, ega. It might also, this might just, eka, might later have turned into just this K disappearing in front like this, and then we have something weird like something like that. So that being the optative, yes, creating rampant nasalization in the verb root. Nga, nga, nga. But with ura, so uraka, it might just have appeared the same kind of simplification of a weird metathesis thing. It might just become ukra. 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 So emukra. And this just might also simplify just till kra, so emukra. Ukran kra. And probably it's also just becoming like this. So ura was ra, ura fraf, ukra kra. And not like this one that's is very dependent on this glottal stop. And ura never really was dependent on the glottal stop, never had a glottal stop. So we're gonna get something like this. The imperfective is still an F. So let's just think about how the futures are later, but yeah. So this would be basically this plus if plus aka. So all this fusion means F is going to appear what it usually isn't, but that can be seen as an analogous with this F that comes naturally in this form. That's fine. Novak. I kinda just wanted to create a va here. It's va. Yes, a lot of it just disappearing over time. Eva, 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 Eva. And also, wait, if F is in front of the nasal and after a nasal. Oh, something completely different is gonna happen here. Okay. This. This is gonna be weird, actually. This wouldn't result in an F in this situation. What we would get, this weird H coming here. Wait. So we have the E, like in M. This would probably lead to something like an emva. Isn't a vowel, but it could just be F2, just being weird like that. Yeah, okay, let's just do it to F. And this V is a allophonos F, so that's fine. And this would maybe be Orava. Ovra. Can that appear? Can appear with borders of two things. No, det blir offra då. Det betyder offra. Fra. Like, I feel like here it becomes diffusion, becomes rampant metastasis, just to make it easier and shorter and easier to pronounce. Okay, let's just try all these forms out. Temporarily, I'm just gonna put them here. Try a verb, like imu. No. Let's try to get aka in all these. So the first form, aka, e. Okay. Aka, if. Akanga. Okay, this one is the difference. Akanga would need to, wow. Nganga. That form is anganga. The aka appearing there. Anganga. That's amazing. Eva. Akara. Akaraf. Akakra. And Akafra. Okay. So aka e, aka if, anganga, aka ewa, eva, akara, akaraf, akakra, and akafra. And it seems pretty good for this verb so far. That is actually pretty nice. Not gonna lie, I like this one just become anganga. Anganga. Sounds like a non-verb, no word, but it is a word here. Nice. So perfective, optative, past tense. I feel like past tense optative is gonna be rare, so that's gonna be a rare occurrence, but it can happen. If you do a very, very specific translation. So let's see. A potential Should be something like to be able to, I think. Not sure yet. We're gonna see. Potential. Passive. Look at that. From a passive stuff. So we're gonna hold on to this one until we look into passives. But a conditional. Where can we find a conditional? Conditional. From the copula, from S questions, say, and temporal. Now, what is an S question? What does this book define as an S question? I know they have a table somewhere. Oh, it's yes, no questions. Yeah, that seems reasonable. So we could say that it was a yes, no question particle that appeared at the end of sentences previously. And this morphology got glommed onto the verb. Okay, so a yes, no question. Let's see, what is the source of a S question? S question. Yes, flipping for a book. Verb phrase and, negation or the conjunction or. Yeah, we can actually make a conjunction here. That's nice. A conjunctive conjunction. Let's just call it that for now. And these, so that should be probably something pretty short, like an. Yeah, you should call it an. Wait, eel. Eel. Yeah, the root eel would give us ib. With or and if. Here I'm going to put in archaic. Because no longer uses if because that got glommed on. Okay, and the root is ew and pronounced, no one surprised, ib. So ib. Okay, so we have this thing called ill. Yeah, that's often gonna surface as ib. Ifib. So, can up in here. Just look at this, and then the if and the ib appears. Ifib. 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 Ib. If. Ifb. 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 what would happen? Okay, we have. You have. Let's take the short form. Here, that's e plus if plus ib. Okay. If one way would just comes down like if fib as a start and if fib I mean, it could have a really short life as FB, which then became FB, which then became EB. That seems reasonable to me. Heb. So that is a perfective conditional. Wait, that would be not the one. This would be that one. And the perfective, we just remove the E. So ib and ib. Okay. So these ones are really similar. So they might just actually not use the E because how similar it is to everything else. Or they use E because it's the same. And you're like heb. Like heb. Like you could throw it out these a lot. Yeah, that seems reasonable. What up? I feel like an orab slash rab is reasonable, but then come the ra plus if plus ib. Can be this is the first thing that happened, ra-ifib, of course, which we know from previously, usually resulting in this disappearing into raf. But so rahifib. Yeah, it seems like it's reasonable for me. It's just become raib. So we're gonna have o raib versus raib. So that is gonna be the way they go. Or raib. Now the subjunctive. Ooh, the ever glorious subjunctive. Now, what's a good source for a subjunctive? Subjunctive. First off, what is a subjunctive? Exactly. Let's see, a subjunctive called conjunctive mood that heavily uses dependent clauses. So subjunctive seems to basically be when we don't want to have a conjunction after a verb, to throw into often into what they're called subclauses. You have the main clause in a subjunctive mode. Yeah, that sounds good. And I couldn't see any good route find a good route for subjunctives. So I'm just gonna think. It could be what. The question what. And that would be the base question of word. So now if you want to create that, we just want to know what our little word for what should be. Mirra. Liggen. Riggen. Jiggen. Yeah, jiggen. That sounds good. So I'm just gonna put it like here first. Jiggen. And if you just put it here as well. Jiggen. Yeah, jiggen. Jiggen. So gonna do the Q words. I don't know what else to put it so far. So I'm just gonna put it here. Jiggen. What? Other meanings can be put later, but yeah, jiggen. What? Which would be from the root jiggen, which would be pronounced something like Yi. Dot. However, made that sign. Jiggen. Jiggen. So now, if we have ebbe, no, not ebbe, plus jiggen, jiggen. I mean, this might literally just be a jiggen. You know? It doesn't really need to be fully fusioned. This one could be newer. Jiggen. Mege. Wait, it could just shorten this. Jiggen. Ege. Because that is illegal sounds. That's illegal. Glides followed by non-glides. Yeah. Ege. Yeah. Suddenly they're not voiced anymore. Now if it puts an F in the middle. Now we're making it harder. Let's just quickly see what happened to AJ, the voiceless J's. Yeah. that's gonna not appear here. Yeah. Wait, but did F appear because HW? But yeah. So first off, we would of course have, you know, if yeah, but then these would just gefyche, sound like the gefyche. Yeah. Now what happened with ur? Ra. So ra plus yiche. Rayiche. Rayiche. Because I feel like this yiche has had a much shorter time to join with the verbs. This is a newer thing. And now what happened if you have ra ifjuche? Brief. Raif, raf. Rafiche. Yeah, it might be very close. Just instead of the J, is instead an F. Rafiche und Rafiche. Reiche. Reiche. And the I here might be appeared too. And not in one below, yeah. Reiche. Okay. Now we have all of these. Let's just try out a verb with them. We're gonna try out not aka. We're gonna create a new verb. A verb, very basic verb, meaning to do. And just have it as ui. Ui. Okay. U. And that is heading 2. And just have ui, meaning to do. This is basically really basic. The root is the same and the pronunciation is the same. Ui. So if you took these, it would always be the one with the vowel. So except here oira. Way ra. Which one do not accept endings? The B and F. Yeah, those only exist for the B and Fs. That can appear word finally. Sometimes. Yeah. So yeah. Weaker. This one might actually take. These ones might actually take that one. Because I don't think the language approves of triple consonant clusters. Jokra och Jofra, yeah. Okay, and this one should become nasal. And I'm thinking about maybe doing like that too, but I'm not sure. So we have all these. We oira, we f, oiraf, oinga, ojokra, ojeva, ojeva, ojofra, ojeb, oirab, ojeve, oiraib, oirejaha, oieicha, oiraicha, oieificha, fach, ificha, oiraificha. Yeah. Oh yeah, because these are, we can make them into what they appear as in pronunciation, because this is I pay in this. So yeah, so most of these are gonna be pretty regular, except that one. So except the optative, the past perfective optative. So that is in aspects. So what is a perfective? Are you basically saying like I wished for? I wished for luck. That's perfective. It ended. I wished. But if you say I was wishing, it would be imperfective. It would actually get used sometimes. I wanted a car, and I wanted a new car, but I got a. That's funny. Yeah, that's nice. Nice. I wanted a new car, but so it's that kind of thing happening. Yeah. Nice, nice. Okay. So, now the question is, do we want valency changes? And in this case, just a passive. We probably want some way to mark a passive, so we should probably work on this. So the passive. The question is, what is the root of passive? What's a good word for a passive? Passive, yeah. Anticausative. Change of state. Come. Competitive. Eat. Fall. Get. Give. Go. Nominalizer. Personal pronoun. Specific the third plural. Reflexive. See. And suffer. That is not for, there's to not make, to prohibit, to stop. Yeah. Okay, so the passive of them, think like this. Okay. So if you want to say I kicked him, but the passive, so I got kicked, that could be I see kicked, I kicked C, I see, I kick go, I go kick, I it would be I go kick, I kick go. I or I this is hard, very hard ever. That is something to think about for a little bit. Go give get. I give kick. I give kick. I with kick. I come kick. I eat kick. Eat kick. Eat is good. Let's see other thing. Let's say I drank water. That could be you know, I eat it water. I eat it water. Or it's no wait, you take it water. Water eat it, or water eat drink. Water eat drink. I got kicked by him. He kicked me. It'll be I eat kick. Or I kicked him if he eat kick. So I feel like this could be a prefix of the verb to eat. So from the verb to eat, which is, what should we make the verb to eat be? Something that feels eating. Num, 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 num. I like num. No, num. No. Num. Okay, so num. Yeah, so num. I like num, which would of course in this language end up as give me a second. Here would end up as No. No. To eat. And I don't think this would be about drinking liquids, so to eat solids. It's very specific. And for the root, num, and it's of course pronounced as no. Okay, so we just write it down, this root. The passive is set and is prefixed at the very front, very front of the verb. So this number suddenly is not the agent. Oh, this is gonna be disappeared because we don't have an agent in the passive. It's just a passive, just a patient. It's not an agent, so the number is not marked. So this is gonna be number slash passive. Easy. So there's number slash passive. They are takes the slot of the number. Agreement. I can't spell agreement. Look at that. They spell agreement for me. Yes. So now we have this going on. Very good. Which would make it so that this one is based upon num. So now you have this again, e plus num plus num. That one disappeared, this one becomes nasals. N. That one might just appear again. You never had disappeared in this case. Something like this. Ämne. And the imperfective would have suddenly have an if in between. So Fne. That seems to me like it would simplify further. I go etne. I would make this one instead voiceless. Etne. Something like that. Because we do have voiceless nasals, but only 2 of them. Or to be fair, more of them might actually when that happen. Oh, they happen before the thing would happen. Yeah, only 2 of them exist. Yeah. Instead, when we have ura, ra. Oh, there's gonna be dangerous. It's gonna cause rampant nasalization. So ra plus num random run. Yeah, it just become a run. So no unane slash just run. And now if we put an F here, it might just become orane. It can basically become this, but with an n and the rampant nasalization. Like that. So aka in this case would be, if we derive it as a present tense potential, would be imperfective, for example, would be angaran. So the whole word is nasalized. Angaran. Like nothing blocking this. Angaran. It would be I could stand. I could stand. Angarane. I could stand. Something like that, right? Because it's imperfective, extractable. Yeah, it's something like I could stand. Or aka specific. No, it's to wish. I could wish. I could wish. No, I could want. Slash wish. I could want. Whereas if the ill would come out as, wait, is that voicing afterwards, or this one comes after the voicing, right? Yeah. Look at that. So we have if F is going to contrast with V. Oh. F is actually able to contrast with V, so they're not fully allophonic. Wow, that's gonna be weird. So, oof. Orano. Iforano. Yeah, so this would be something like I could stand. I can stand. Something like that. No, I'm able to stand. Iforano. And so far we don't have verbs with glottals in them. Do we have glottals in the prefixes? No. And this is not agreed. It should be stand, probably a singular verb, so it doesn't need marking. But if you say they could stand, it would probably actually be marked as riffrarna. It would become this, riffrarna. They could stand. Or you could throw in the passive. The passive is, by the way, no. The passive is simply num in front of the verb. Num. Seems like a lot of this lot is is nasal. So except the plural. Yeah, that's a thing. I should probably list on the verbs, like in this kind of way, what they usually are. This usually has a singular verb as a base form. This is also singular. This is a base amount of agents in it. These are all singular verbs. I feel like dual verbs and pluralized verbs, pluractional verbs are rarer, but they probably gonna exist. So yeah. But yeah, I feel like we've come pretty far. We have done everything I set out to do today. So we can probably try us on a test sentence. Just to try something. So we're gonna try, let's make birds sing. Okay, try it down here. We can remove this now. Birds sing. So I would like it to just be birds plural. The bird plural. Say or speaks. Speak. And this is imperfective. That would probably be imperfective, and is realis, imperfective, present. 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 Yeah, present. And it's a singular, and say is probably a speak is probably a dual verb, so it's probably gonna have to be noticed as a plural thing. So yeah, it's gonna be unmarked. It's speaking. You speak to each other in a group. Yeah, it's gonna be unmarked. It's seen as plural, as default. So yeah. So we would not need a word for bird. So bird is either, in this case, I think it is just a straight up bird, or it's something that means long mouth. I could say a long mouth, which also, I thought for this language, you should long is just big. Long is the same word. Just big mouth. I think we're gonna go with adjectives that are noun-like, I guess. And they're not gonna conjugate at all. No, or change at all. They're just gonna have one form. So we're gonna create one that means big. And yeah. So just having like or, ooh. We have very things that have an or in it. So we're gonna probably do something with an or. Horn, horn, horn. Son, son, fawn. Yeah. Have like that as a product form. Fawn. Horn. Fawn. Yeah. So under F here, heading 2, we're gonna get four. Wow. Big. Long. This is one of the words that have really different pronunciation from the protoform. Something like this. Four. This is big, long. Tall. Then we want a word from mouth. So I'm thinking about just doing a word like my. There's nothing really happens to that word. I like it. So we're gonna put it in here. After this one, M, our first M word. My. Meaning a mouth. Or a beak, they are mouths too. From the proto word my. Nothing really happened to this one. My dot yeah. My. So a funmai. A form. So a long mouth will be 1 dot plus my this is probably pretty old, and these said, I believe, and we want the initials, yeah, nasals, but anything that isn't a nasal. So this is probably gonna become a P. It's actually gonna become a P. So for pie, so comma. So this ends up at the end as a from pie, and this is a word for bird. It's literally a word for bird in this language. Not the most beautiful word, but it is a word. From pie. we're gonna test it. Where would on my this gonna get us a very different thing. What's the stress on it for my so this is a bird. Technically big mouth. But yeah, so this is from the root 1 plus my which ends up at a very beautiful 1 dot main stress ma dot j on my so this F is gonna basically linger for a while before it releases into the word, but the stress is not on that syllable, but it's the syllable after it. From my. Okay, so now we can say for my. And from pi, it's gonna be from pi. I need to change it from pi. Okay. From pi då. From pi. Or might just become from pi. Yeah, I like that better actually, for pi. Here, we're gonna make a note here. On words longer than 2 syllables, you only the last 2 syllables are reduplicated. Example, we bring up the font by that becomes the font by. Yes, for bye. Okay, and then we need a word that means to speak. So I'm just gonna give us a new set of these, and see where they take us. I like this shoe. Sue becomes shoe. It's gonna be under here because spelling speed is gonna be the same, so it's gonna be sub. And wait, it's gonna be not under because it's a verb. So here we're gonna see this beautiful verb up here, sub. I mean to speak. Yeah. Or to sing birds. Yeah, and the root is su. But the pronunciation is, first we need that one, then we need to get this one and this one. Shub. Shub. So that is the verb shub. And here we're just going to write out the pronunciation shub in imperfective present tense. Realis imperfective to present. Uboraf. You can uboraf. Shuboraf. Von pai shuboraf. Von pai shuboraf. Birds sing. Von pai shuboraf. Von pai shuboraf. Von pai shuboraf. Yeah. Von pai shuboraf. Yeah. That must be kind of quickly become something like from pai shuboraf. Shuboraf. I wonder if that we just become humoraf. Humora. Yeah, okay. So like this shub, when it's nasalized, it's gonna be pronounced like him. But yeah, shuboraf. I like this. So now we have a tested sentence with from pai shuboraf. That's nice. That's actually nice. So yeah. So that is finale of this. So we're gonna end it here. Bye.